Let's talk about some common mistakes now that individuals often run into when counting calories. One of the first things, and so prevalent in individuals that I work with, is they don't count liquid calories. You would be surprised at the amount of liquid calories that exist in soda, for example, energy drinks, sometimes coffee if you have a bunch of sugar and cream added into it, different alcoholic drinks. There's so many different things added into it. Alcohol in general just even has calories even without the sugary alcohol stuff added to it. These can literally add 300 to 500 extra calories per day to your overall calorie budget or calorie goal, and you don't even realize it. It doesn't even register for you. So if you're trying to count calories, I'd highly recommend start looking at your liquid calories. Orange juice, juices in general are another source of liquid calories that people don't think of. Oh, it's healthy, I'm drinking juice, right? Well, here's the thing. That's still calories, and if you're trying to lose weight, you need to monitor those things. I usually tell people to cut out all liquid calories because that makes weight loss much, much easier. Another common mistake individuals often make when counting calories is to not count sauces or spreads or those different things. So examples of this could be like ranch dressing, for example, on a salad. That's a lot of calories, very fatty sauce. Maybe you're somebody who puts a bunch of extra Chinese sauce in a Chinese dish, right? So like a stir-fry dish, and you have those like good soy sauce combos with a little bit of General Tso's mix, right? Very high fat, that type of stuff. Mayonnaise. I'm just thinking of ones off the top of my head here. Mayonnaise is a spread that can really get out of hand. If you're using a lot of mayonnaise, you might be taking on another 100 calories to your sandwich super, super quickly with, again, not really much substance. Barbecue sauce is another dangerous one. That has a lot of extra sugar added to it. I like using a sugar-free barbecue sauce version. That's a lot less calories and a lot less sugar. But yeah, barbecue sauce can really, really get out of hand, and especially when you're at an actual homemade barbecue place, so like, you know, Famous Dave's or maybe a hole in the wall down the street, and you get their barbecue sauce, they will usually already have barbecue sauce on their food, and then you add more onto it. You could literally be adding 300 to 500 calories just in sauce, So be aware of those sauces. Also cooking oils too. So if you're somebody who normally cooks in butter or a little bit of vegetable oil, those are all calories that will literally inflate your meal so much. So you got to count all those calories. Everything comes at a cost. Another common mistake that people will make is looking at home preparation versus eating out differently. So when you prepare food at home, you know exactly the amount of calories going into all that food. And if you are finding value from this so far, please give the video a like. So you're finding all the calories in that food, and you know exactly the amount of calories. When you eat out, you have no idea how that food is prepared. So you might be thinking, okay, I normally cook my chicken breast in just a little bit of oil and use a little bit of seasoning and a tiny bit of sauce. So that's probably about the same calories as when I go out to eat. No, not at all. Usually you got to think about it from the restaurant's perspective. They're getting extra oils in there, extra sodium, extra butter, extra things to make it taste good because they want you to come back. So you need to look at eating out as you probably need to budget an extra 200 to even 400 calories of basically damage control calories, where they're adding in those extra sources of fat and etc., because it is likely going to be much, much higher calorie when eating out. Another common mistake individuals often make when counting calories is getting wrapped up in one day and feeling like one day really, really matters. So I like looking at counting calories from more of a weekly perspective. So say, I can eat about 3,000 calories per day. I would multiply that by 7. So 3,000, so by the end of the week, that's 21,000 calories per the week. And if I go overboard on one day, maybe I eat 3,500 calories, the next day, maybe I'm just going to eat a little bit less. So I'm going to eat 2,500 calories. And then at the end of the week, you're going to net the exact same amount of calories, because it is kind of like a budget. it is kind of like a budget if you look at it that way. So at the end of the week, it really doesn't matter because it's kind of a wash. Also, too, realize that even if you don't get back on track and do that buffer damage control we just talked about, it's really not going to matter that much, too, at the end of the day. If you're consistent with your calorie goals and doing this for a long period of time, which is how you should be going about it when you are trying to do weight loss and calorie counting, right? Again, one day is irrelevant. Think about it. If you mess up on 1 day, 2 days, even an entire week, but the rest of the week and the rest of the year is perfectly good for you, does that really matter? No, absolutely not. Another common issue that individuals often make when counting calories is under-calculating. People give themselves the benefit of the doubt lots of times and think that, oh, I'm eating a normal portion of, mac and cheese, for example, or I'm eating a normal portion of a bowl of cereal, for example, and they will undercalculate the overall amount of calories they eat. And when they do that, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're essentially saying to yourself, I'm actually hitting 2,500 calories, but I'm not losing weight, and I should be losing weight on that overall calorie goal because I found on my calorie calculator online that that's the amount that I need to lose weight. But what you're doing is you're counting inaccurately. So be honest with yourself. You need to calculate precisely. If you are doing it correctly and as precisely as you can, you will lose weight. It's simple math. So make sure you are not undercalculating. And at the end of the day, you can probably just add an extra 100 to 200 calories on your overall calorie calculating app or however you do it. And that's probably a good source of damage control for yourself. Another common thing, and I hate that I even have to mention this, is people will act like they don't exist. So they'll act like when they go to a buffet, calories just don't even exist. I'm just gonna eat everything, and it's just gonna melt off my body. No, not the case at all. Unfortunately, it all does come at a cost. So instead of looking at this as a bad thing, realize it does give you power, because just like you can't eat everything, you can eat certain foods. And as long as you are within your calorie budget for the day, you'll be fine. Say you go to a buffet, for example, and you're trying to maintain a 2,000 calorie diet and they have pizza, chicken, all these good things. You can have a very small portion of each of those. You might not have as much as you want, but you can still have some of those foods. You're just going to have to kind of watch your calories for the rest of the day. So it just gives you a little bit of freedom for some, and this is kind of a mindset thing. Another common mistake that people make when counting calories is by just eating healthy and thinking that that's going to allow them to lose weight. The problem with eating healthy is that there are still lots of quote-unquote healthy foods that if you eat too much of, you will gain weight. For example, we talked about a salad earlier in the podcast, and a salad in itself isn't too bad. A little bit of lettuce, maybe there's some chicken breast, tiny bit of cheese, tiny bit of ranch dressing, not too bad. Maybe 300 to 400 calories there. But what kills people is they will add extra croutons, extra cheese, extra dressing, some bacon bits. Maybe they'll have like a cookie with it, extra. So you're kind of taking that healthy salad and making it unhealthy by adding so many extra calories to it. You can do this even for just a plain chicken breast. You could literally just eat chicken breast, but if you still eat 1,000 calories of chicken breast and that's over your calorie budget for the day, you're gonna gain weight even if you were just eating chicken breast, just because of the sheer fact of calories being more than you need per day. Eating healthy is great, but realize you still need to eat healthy and monitor your overall calories. If you are finding value from this, please give the video a like. Greatly appreciate it. The last thing is being too religious about counting calories. And this isn't saying like, oh, I'm praising, the pasta gods in the star, in the sky, right? This is just being too focused on actually meticulously counting calories. When we're talking about calories in general, there is actually on nutrition labels about a 10 to 30% chances of there being an error on that nutrition label. So if you're eating something that's 1,000 calories on a nutrition label or looking at it, it could be 1,100 calories, it could be 1,300 calories, it could be 700 calories. There is a huge buffer and error zone. So don't feel like you need to focus on counting super religiously and super close, because at the end of the day, guess what? You're probably going to be a little off anyway. This is about more consistency over anything, and that consistency is what's going to get you the best long-lasting results for your weight loss. So don't be too religious, and especially too, if you're somebody who's just trying to be a little bit healthier and you're not trying to optimize your overall weight loss and lose a bunch of weight, right? You can give a little bit. You can give and take a little bit. It's not going to ultimately kill you.